Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another supplier showcase here on Kerfuffle, and I'm delighted to have Bruce here from Hive. Bruce, how are you today?
I'm excellent, thank you, Simon. Yeah, how are you?
Good. There's a bit of a weird thing going on with the lights here in the hotel, but I'm sorry, I can't affect that at the moment. But absolutely good at the moment. We're here today, Bruce, to talk about speeding up the sales process and increasing revenue by getting your clients legally prepared, aren't we? Can you just give us a bit of background about first yourself and the business?
Yeah, absolutely. No, thank you. So we started off. My name's Bruce Adams. We started our business about 8 or 9 years ago, and we launched a product or service called Location Information, and it generated location guides for every property listing from the estate agent CRM, and it gave agents a sort of a bit of a listing tool, and it supported their local area expert ethos, and that sort of where we sort of gathered a sort of a customer base, and from there we've sort of evolved and substantially sort of added to our services. We're sort of launching a product which is kind of what I'm talking about here with you today.
Cool, good stuff. And just talk us through what the products, how the product helps out agents.
Sure. Well, I mean, we've got a recent collaboration with a company called Lifetime Legal, and sort of together we have sort of designed a customer journey which enables us to create a property information and media pack, which is the result of sort of legally preparing a client. The sort of unique part about what we do is rather than, and I'll sort of come on to the packs in a moment really, but with all the information that we sort of forward prepare for a selling client, rather than keeping that in sort of the background and behind the scenes, we sort of pull that through into our packs ready to be sort of showcased to a buyer. Okay. In a way that also supports the estate agent's brand. So it's a really exciting launch, and it's right in line with the government drive for transparency, upfront information. What sort of Property Mark and and Home Buying Selling Group, all these organisations, they're all sort of driving, and we're trying to do it, and we're just trying to do it in a way that's, as I said, supports the agent's brand and speeds up sales in a very tightly knit and unique customer journey.
So basically, best practice obviously there, but one of the big effects is obviously speeding things up, which of course is never been more important at the moment, has it?
Absolutely. I mean, there's no magic wand, unfortunately, for where we are at the moment. I think with the conveyancing side being absolutely clogged, I think what we do is very much a customer journey that can I think from now forwards can help make things a lot more quicker and efficient. It all starts really. I mean, and everything that we provide also is free of charge. It's quite handy for me to outlay that quite early on as well. And it all really starts with a referral for an AML, an anti-money laundering check through our platform at Hive. And so although the products I kind of really want to talk about are our packs, it's the result of this kind of journey that a customer takes from sort of having a compliance check. So typically, for a selling client, they'll have a referral made on their behalf by the estate agent through to Lifetime Legal, who will contact them and run through all of the necessary identity checks. Not only that, they provide a risk assessment, as well as part of their offering, and they also have an enhanced due diligence team. So any complex cases with companies and trusts lasting powers of attorney, they're all chased, and it really takes that obligation and burden, as it were, off of the estate agent. It's free of charge, but I think really more than that, it gives them sort of an HMRC watertight, provision of their compliance.
Excellent. And what do you just to clarify down to the nth degree, what do you mean by getting the clients legally prepared? Just again, walk us through that, what that's going to do for them.
Yeah, so that's actually sort of the secondary stage. So when Lifetime Legal are speaking to the client as part of that AML process, they will obtain copies of the land registry title plan and the register, which will sort of sit on file. It's all sent back through to our system in a compliance pack. But they also provide the client with an ability to complete all of their protocol forms. And this is quite a game changer in sort of part of what we do. So you've got sort of the sort of property information questionnaire that's been released. But also we've created like a digital journey for a client to complete their law society transaction forms. So the TA 6, 7 and 10. So rather than that information sort of, again, sitting behind the scenes, that it's all kind of put into a file ready for a solicitor to get on with a case. But we then pull that information through it into our packs, ready for buyers to have that clarity and information up front, rather than being weeks down the line after the solicitor's been instructed and people have filled out paperwork, and it eventually gets to to a buyer and queries are raised, we can sort of showcase that, really quickly.
Okay, and just explain, why does the service include conveyancing?
So the solicitors are, a really important part of it, clearly. And what we found is that when an AML check is carried out in the way that it's conducted by Lifetime Legal, it's a really effective time to talk to a client about the benefits of instructing a solicitor. It's all part of that legally prepared sort of status or stage. And so we convert people, clients at around about 50 to 60% on average for selling clients to instruct their solicitor straight away. Which means that the information that's sort of gathered can then sort of sit and become almost like an oven-ready file, ready for a solicitor to kind of get on with the case as soon as the buyer has been found. Moving that on to the buyer, obviously having the title plan on file, it means that when a buyer has got a sale agreed, they can then have the searches, commissioned straight away, because you've already got the beginning part of that file that's already been taken care. So the speeding up of the sales is almost two factor here. You've got all the administrative aspects that have been, undertaken, and then you've also got the searches that can be processed immediately. And it's at least weeks, that's going to save, and that's sort of before the added benefits of all of that upfront information that can be put in a really user-friendly way to buyers. And I'll share my screen, just to give a very quick kind of overview of what they look like.
Good stuff. Yeah, please go ahead. I mean, that sounds really compelling. Obviously, if you can save weeks on it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it some of the steps are really common sense. So, and I think a lot of agents are already, looking at, taking out property information questionnaires, because they know that's the way that the market's going. But we can do that on behalf. When you talk about things like the Law Society protocol forms, and it's quite complicated and there's a lot of duplication. So the online form that our clients can fill out has no duplication. If you answer question 1, go to 6B, those type of things. It's all streamlined, and it just dynamically kind of makes that process as easy as it possibly can be. And then when it's completed, it's digitally signed, and that information is then sent through to us. So, can you see my screen, Simon?
Yeah, we got that up. We got that up there. Yes, so we can see the was it Nail Down Road, Hive, Kent, there with the property information alongside it. So, just talk us through what we're looking at here, Bruce.
Brilliant. Yeah, thanks, Simon. So this is an example of a property information and media pack. I'm just going to give you just a brief preview of a couple of bits in it. So for every single vendor referral for an AML check will automatically be, one of these packs will be created. And even if we don't convert the conveyancing, the clients receive this legally prepared status in any case. So you have like a bit of an overview of the pack here, which is a bit of a hub of information. So you've got a, introduction at the top, a thumbnail of the property. We show a status as to whether that property is legally prepared. It kind of, provides that bit of, a bit of almost a spotlight, as it were, for a property that's reached that stage.
Yeah.
And then we've got several tiles with information. So talk you through a couple of these. The media links. Some agents that we'll be rolling this out to will actually be using these packs as their property details. So the company we've been working with closely, Miles & Barr, they will be doing so. And so we're integrated with all of the main UK CRM providers, so we can pull out all of the property relevant information. So the photos, virtual tours, videos. And so we've got a nice sort of almost like that new Rightmove style gallery here that will automatically feed the pictures in. We've got all the call to actions, full plan, location, summary and measurements and what have you. So you've kind of got that initial sort of media advertising links element of the property.
Yeah, it looks very slick.
The second part, so this is kind of the real, what we see as the game changer part, as part of that legally prepared side, is the property information section. So as a client will complete their their questionnaire, which will generate all of the TA protocol forms, that information is then pulled into this section here. So we've got a bit of an introduction, and you've got a kind of a synopsis table that would just show you some key facts about it. And part of what the home buying selling group are asking is for especially leasehold properties to be able to highlight a lot of that information up front. So this is all as a result of what the vendors are answering. And then you can scroll down, then all the information, all of the sections. I think there's about 400 entries on these forms when you include the fixtures and fittings. So we've kind of neatened them all up as much as we can do into kind of different sections, which can be expanded and looked at. Okay. But it just means that buyers can have a really simple place to go to, and any things that might be showstoppers can be seen at the outset. Any inquiries that are obvious that could cause problems can be asked initially, because we all know that answers to these questions can be seen so late in the day, and it can just it can just avoid so much time wastage.
Looks really good. A lot of absolutely vital information on there. And I guess, Bruce, the whole idea is this can provide people with as much information as possible to stop any nasty surprises down the line, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. That's totally the idea behind it. We put in things like the land registry information that, again, we're obtaining at that AML checking procedure. Moving back a little bit full circle to our initial offering that we came out with 8 or 9 years ago, our location information product, we kind of fused all these legally prepared status with our national data sets on things like school results, house price trends, and some market intelligence data, health, transport links. So, for example, if I was to sort of go into a school, and again, this is all automated, the system that's working on behalf of the agent, and it will use the postcode of the property to sort of pull out, where the school locations are, the different key stages, catchment areas, school results. And so we're kind of really creating a local area information guide, as well as a legally prepared pack.
Well, thanks for that. Yeah, that brings that to life. It's very good. So, Miles and Bar, obviously fantastic agent. I think you said you've been working with kind of to hone and test it. What's their feedback in terms of and indeed, what's the client's feedback to this being able to provide this?
Yeah, well, they've been quite key actually in developing the product with us to make sure it is an agent-led product. So some of these features are actually been specifically, requested by, they have a good volume and test case of clients. So, we're actually launching this pack with them next week. So, buyer feedback will be, when it comes. But, but in terms of, their input into it, for a company that's, really forward thinking and has a good volume of work and clients too, it gives us a lot of confidence in it having a good impact when it goes live. Great. I mean, we have been we've been providing the compliance and the conveyancing service and legally preparing, since July. So that bit of the stage has been live for some months now, and the conversion rates, it's purely the property information media packs that are launching in the next week to 10 days.
Yeah, great. And Bruce, my old gran, bless her, told me to be careful of things that look too good to be true. Just talk us through again how your service can be free.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's great for us to be able to offer a service like this that is end to end with an awful lot of value in it. And of course, that's going to cause a couple of questions. How can it be so? It's really sort of organised within the conveyancing. So we work with a panel of about 100 law firms through Lifetime Legal, but we actively encourage estate agents to bring their existing relationships with us, which just means a simple onboarding process with their firm. And within, on a completion, we build in a fee within that legal scale that then is paid to us as commission. So there's no upfront fee or subscription to the agents. Currently our location information data sets are a monthly charge, but everything is just totally free of charge. And it's based on working closely with the agent to work on that conversion rate. If the agent works with us in a way that helps legally prepare a client, and we get a good conversion rate, it means that we can offer it all free of charge.
So it's actually really quite transparent. It's just driving the revenues for the conveyancing side of things, which is absolutely to be expected. That's great. And just talk us through then, how do you protect estate agents' AML obligations as well? Because I think you highlighted that just at the outset, didn't you?
Yeah, and I think that the AML side can't be overstated enough. It's the trigger point of what we do. But I think in its own right, it's easy with all the array of features we have to kind of almost overlook that. It's a service with people behind it that just take on that obligation. So, HMRC, the AML regulations are changing all the time, so they keep on top of it. But, I think every agent that we speak to, and we've spoken to a lot now, that I don't recall ever speaking to one agent that can 100% say that, hands on heart, that they actually, are covered with their AML, that they're doing what they really need to do. So to be able to provide that burden and to a company that can do that for them takes the time off of the branch staff, so they can concentrate on what they do best.
Yeah.
And they know that they're not just checking a name in a system; they're actually identifying who needs to be checked, what documents need to be get hold of, And so they're doing, that process, and they send a compliance pack through the system, and the agent simply saves it. So it's providing a real watertight, compliance service and saving time. It's going to save money on compliance, of course, but I think that's the least of the concern. Yeah, absolutely, definitely.
But basically, giving greater protection than they've ever had before in a very easy way to do it as well.
Yeah, and it just conveniently just sort of then dovetails onto the trigger point, to get the conveyancing instructed, getting that client legally prepared, getting a file ready for a buyer. AML checks are done on the buyers as well, and Lifetime Legal encourage agents to provide an AML referral for a buyer at the point of offer rather than offer agreed. It increases their pool of who they're quoting to. So if those buyers then go off and buy through other agents, that then is that commission is tracked through that agent who initially referred it. So again, trying to increase the number of referrals is also key.
Okay. And do agents still get or do they get a property information and media pack even if they don't instruct the solicitor, or is it contingent on that?
No, that's what we do. It's 100% of the listings. So as long as that estate agent we're hooked up to their CRM feed, we'll generate a pack automatically based on that property coming into our system. For the AML side, irrespective of whether that client instructs a solicitor, we'll still be carrying out the AML, we'll still be getting hold of the land registry information, and we'll still be giving them access to complete all of their protocol forms, giving them that legally prepared status and that nice green status tick bar on their pack.
Excellent. And is there a benefit here for the solicitor at all?
Yeah, because the solicitor's getting a nice oven-ready file. And also what we're working on is with solicitors is trying to avoid that duplication of identity checks as well. So the more elements that we can cover, and solicitors, because even with the agent bringing their solicitor with them, they're onboarded onto the processes, systems and processes of Lifetime Legal. So it means that they will adopt those ways of working, again saving time. So a high volume of work, having a nice oven-ready case, that I would say those would be the two benefits for legal firms. Excellent.
And will the solicitors accept the completed property protocol forms, the ID checks and searches? Because that's obviously that's pretty important, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's certainly a bit of an issue, I think, with other sort of solutions that are in the marketplace at the moment. You can certainly get your forms completed online, but there's so much duplication that if a solicitor that hasn't had issued those forms won't accept them, it's an awful lot of time that's been wasted. And you might then have the solicitor ask them to be filled up by paper afterwards and posted, and then we go back into that inefficient world again. So just by virtue of of a legal firm being within the Lifetime Legal fold, they will accept that information for sure.
Okay, cool. And can agents use their own solicitors in this process?
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think, as I said, we actively encourage it. We have a panel over 100. That the market's currently very busy anyway. Capacity is tight, and I think every agent will know that irrespective of that, local relationships with with conveyancers and agents are strong, and if they can bring that to us, I think that's best for for all parties. And it's a very solicitor friendly panel to be to join. There aren't too many hoops for them to have to jump through. It's a very simple process.
Nice. Okay. You mentioned in terms of integrations there, could you just put a bit of meat on the bone in terms of who you integrate with? Clearly the CRMs I imagine is the main one, again critical there, just in terms of stopping whatever duplication you can do.
Yeah.
Could you just run through which ones you can think of off the top of your head that you
integrate? So this one will drive the pack creation and pull in all of the media links as well, and we'll be integrated with the repits, desreses, autos, property, dupics, expert agents, and if we're not integrated with a CRM, then we certainly will do, for any agent. So if they have their bespoke system, we'll integrate as well. So it's really key for those integrations, and also a big part of our integration is with Lifetime Legal, so we can then send information to them, and they can send all these bits of legally prepared status items back through to us to the packs.
So Bruce, that's really nice, isn't it? Because a lot of people launch their new services, their new innovations, but actually the last thing on the list has been the innovations, which obviously agents want to have if they possibly can do. But you put time, energy into the process, and although this is hot off the shelves, out of your labs, as it were, you've actually thought this through and already got those in place.
Yeah, I think it's because rather than developing an idea or a concept from scratch, we've looked at what we've already done. We've had years worth of integrating with CRM systems. We also have a conveyancing quotation system, and in Lifetime Legal have been legally preparing clients for some time. So we're bringing everything together rather than it should give hopefully potential clients confidence that we've got something that works, is proven in their individual parts, and that when they come together are going to be really beneficial.
Excellent. And just talk us through a few of the different ways they can use these packs.
Well, I think key is for buyers, of course, by giving them information, it's going to be really useful to make more informed decisions. But I think again, going full circle, is that when an agent is on evaluation, to have a product like this is going to be really instrumental in helping get new listings and convert valuations into listings. Because if you're a vendor and an agent came to you and they can demonstrate how they market a property, not just in how the photos look like, whether they do virtual tours, how many staff they've got, all those fundamentals, you've actually got, you're moving forward, and you're saying, well, if you list with us, you get a legally prepared status. We'll do all this upfront work for you, and we'll present it in this way. And I think it can only do the agent's chances in converting that valuation.
Excellent. We mentioned Miles and Bar before, and again, you're great to see you got 5-star ratings up on the site. Excuse me while I just hide the pair of us for a moment. Have a sneaky drink or something if you want to at the moment. But the Miles and Bar have given this feedback on it. Hive game-changing property information and media packs. Super excited to be launching this Hive estate agency systems product into our local market for our sellers and buyers. This will be an absolute game changer and will really help in speeding up sales and reducing fall throughs by providing information from the outset to buyers and helping our vendors be completely legally prepared. The pack itself looks fantastic, and using it as our property details for every new listing will be impressive. So it actually goes on to say a lot more actually on the back of that on the website. But that's nice to hear, isn't it? And then obviously they have been working with you, so it's an important thumbs up there, isn't it, from the people you've had on the beta?
Yeah, it's a huge boost for us, as I said, to be working with an agent with that with that volume. With a reputation in the marketplace that can give us that help and insight and support and then validation on what we're doing as well.
Yeah, you didn't give yourself an easy job, given the numbers that those guys turn out at Miles and Bar, do they? Yeah. So, yeah, I'd have gone for someone a bit more sleepy, if I was honest.
No, sometimes you have to click back a few pages to in the referral screens. Yeah, there's an awful lot of data that comes through from those guys. So no, you're right. But it kind of, if we can get it right for a company like Miles and Bar with their volume, it means we're well prepped, and we have worked with some companies of all sizes over the years as well, in terms of the integrations, and and we've always handled that really, really well.
What does the onboarding look like, Bruce? How easy, if somebody is interested in this, how long does it take to get them up and working?
I think a lot of that will sort of hinge on the solicitor side. If an agent comes on board and they they use a solicitor that's already on the Lifetime Legal panel, they can be up and running in a matter of days. There is a process whereby there's training, of course. It's a slightly different shift in mindset from how the solicitors are introduced by the agent, and there's a very specific process to warm a client up to hand over to Lifetime Legal to set their expectations. So, there is some time there, and depending on the size of the agent, to then have those focus sessions with all of the teams. It's very hands-on, because conversion for us is everything. So it's very hands-on with the staff, which I hope would give agents confidence that, it's not just a login and a system, that there are people behind running. It's not just a prop tech technology-driven service. There are people behind, operating this. And also, we'll be working with the agents to not only line clients up, but to guide them, into the process of filling out the protocol forms. There's still going to be an element of, of the process that needs to be, outlined to clients behind the scenes as well. So very, very thorough. But it could be days. If a solicitor is onboarded from an existing relationship an agent has, then it just takes as long as it takes really just to kind of get the fee scales looked at and agreed and go live. But again, it shouldn't take more than sort of 2 or 3 weeks really to get anyone live.
Excellent. And you make that point actually a couple of times, just to reiterate, you are a technology led, but you're really a fusion, aren't you, of technology and services, to make sure that people do have that support, obviously, from the actual talented people you have in your business.
Yeah, and it's something that I think it's easy to be lost in sort of this prop tech world, that people still run what goes on. Everything that we show is an idea, of course, but without people running it behind. And I'd say it's more people led than it is technology led, because a referral on our system is the quick bit. What people have to do behind the scenes to legally prepare people. None of that's automated through technology. It's all done by people.
Yeah, it's often you hear that phrase, don't you? Software as a service, and unfortunately for many businesses, they seem to forget the second part of that equation, do they? And it's just roll it out and let people get on with it, which of course means that you don't use much of the system or you don't use it effectively, and of course then your satisfaction levels and indeed your ROI is just going to be lower than you'd have hoped it would be.
Yeah, I think because we're providing a service free of charge, and it's all based on conversion, it would make no sense for us to roll out a system and process that we have without a thorough rollout. Because if the training isn't provided thoroughly, and the branch staff aren't referring the way that enables us to convert and legally prepare clients, the whole sort of process falls down. So it's absolutely vital for us, and I suppose it's set up in a way that we have to train it thoroughly. We have to have people that run it properly in order for it to be a success. And not only that, we have a bit of a phrase. We have a sort of quite a forensic approach to reporting. So for a company, we will look at the statistics behind the scenes, who's referring, what individuals' referral conversion rates are, and then we'll work potentially with people who maybe aren't converting as higher as other performers. So very, very forensic and very thorough in terms of once we've launched, there's ongoing training, ongoing monitoring as well.
Excellent. So let me just try and summarize this. You have been, I was going to say, you have been really, really kind and put an offer together for our Kerfuffle members, and we'll get to that. And in fact, you've gone even crazier because it's Pink Thursday today at Kerfuffle Towers, and so I've really pulled the stopper out to provide that. Well, we'll come to that in a moment. From my point of view, really, the key takeaways here, aren't they? Faster transaction times, which means that there's less likelihood of fall throughs. More referral income, obviously, off the back of that, save costs, and ultimately the back of that all to provide free buyer information packs with a tick in the compliance in making sure that side of things sorted as well. So it really delivers on a number of different angles, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you for summarising. Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. So do you want to, while I pop it up on screen, do you want to just say what you've been very kind to do for our Kerfuffle members?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, really pleased to be, with Kerfuffle, on your platform. Really exciting for us. So thank you, and thank you for your time today, Simon. We're really happy as well to be sort of taking part in your Pink Thursday deal. Our service is free of charge, so we are, we'll be promoting our free AML compliance for all buyers and sellers, free legal preparation for all of your clients, and our free property information and media packs, and our free location information guides for every single listing.
That's brilliant. How do you get beyond free? Really, it's an impossible thing. Yeah, it's great, Bruce. Really, really, really impressive. Well, look, obviously you gave us a bit of a heads up, obviously, that you were working on this when we were talking about the relocation agent network awards, weren't we? And I knew that Miles and Bar were excited, and you were working on this. So I can see it looks really good. Yeah, it looks really, really impressive. I think what will be interesting from our point of view, Bruce, is when we start to get the feedback from the actual, the agents' clients themselves. That's the acid test as well, isn't it? Really, because then you're going to start to think, you're going to have to think that people will start seeing this as genuinely as a USP.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got the first stage that's live and underway. So we know the conversion, the legal preparation is working and going well, but wrapping that up into our property information and media packs with all of that property information from the protocols, that's the really exciting next part of what we do. And you're absolutely right. We get that live and we get that right, and we get the feedback, and it's just really exciting. Really looking forward to 2021.
Well, who isn't?
Yeah, well, yeah, for many reasons. Yeah, absolutely.
People on the business one, I can absolutely see why. Well, Bruce, no, thank you very much for that. Definitely, let's catch up with that. We want to give as much feedback to our members as possible. And again, encourage anyone, go have a look at obviously Hive on the wonderful the Pink site there. See a bit further information. And there's obviously I'm interested. Contact me. If you click on that, we'll forward that to Bruce and the team, and they'll get in contact to help you out. And I'm sure they'll be able to help out with any of your queries on this area. Bruce, just want to say thank you once more. Thanks for getting involved.
Yeah, pleasure, and great to talk to you.
Good, great. Cheers, Bruce.
Okay, all the best.